I said from Runnable, yeah, I'm in Oak Hill Park. It's absolutely pissing it down again, and it's raining. That's the same thing, Ed.
Runnable state of mind, lace tight, I'm able. I hit the trails early, dawn light on the gravel, rain, sleet or snow, still breathing out steam, heartbeat, boom, bap, rhythm straight off the street. I got hit by a car, now I'm better by far. Ping, pop, twang, snap, hear the truth in the bar. I run through forest, field, mountains, streets, from dirt to the curb where the grind meets the beat. Runnable soul, every scar got a name. Pain turn power, yeah, I flip that flame. Cold air lungs burn, still pushing through. One step, then the next, that's what runners do. I got hit by a car, now I'm better by far. Runnable mindset, yeah, I raised the bar. Rain, sleet, or snow, still carry the heat. Forest, field, mountains, I run with the beat. The beat.
Hi everyone, it's Ed from Runnable, and this is my 5K race review of the Li-Ning Feidian 6 Elite. I took this on a 5K race in my local park run, Oak Hill Park. I know some of you don't think that's a race. For me, I always race park runs, but that's a different story. And in this video, I'm going to tell you what it felt like to run in this shoe over 5K, whether I think this is a good shoe for your park runs, your 5K races. And finally, I'm going to let you know what I think of this shoe compared to competition, my likes, dislikes, and other key categories. So stand by for the full review. But first, watch some of the footage of the park run itself. See if it whets your appetite to come and join me in Oak Hill Park one time. See you later. Love you all. Bye.
Runnable till the lights go low. Rain, sleet, or snow.
Hi everyone, it's Ed from Runnable. I've got a 5K this morning, a park run in Oak Hill Park. And on my feet, let me show you. One sec. Yeah, I've got the Li-Ning Feidian 6, so I'm hoping to give them a run out. Not really sure what to expect today. Not been doing a lot of speed work recently. I've been concentrating on the mileage. I'm hoping to get back in the 17s, but it is wet and windy, so we'll see. But hopefully it'll go better than I expect, and hopefully these shoes will do well. So with that, I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Great finish. Well done, great finish. Well done, good finish. Well done. Well done, mate, good finish. Great finish. Go on, go on. Well done. Great finish. Well done. Well done. Well done. Great finish. Well done. Good finish. Excellent. Well done. Well done. Great finish. Well done. Careful. Slippery. Careful. Well done. Well done. Great finish. Well done. Well done. Great finish. Well done. Well done. Great finish, mate. Well done. Well done. Well done. Great finish. Careful, it's slippery. Well done. Well done, mate. Well, good finish. Go on, great finish. Go on. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Great finish. Well done. Good finish. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done, Celine. Watch the floor. Great finish. Great finish. Well done. Look at this one. Go on. She's coming. Go on. Great finish. What a finish. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done, Superman. Well done. Great finish. Well done. All right. Well done. Great finish. Great finish. Well done. Well done. Well done, mate. Good finish. Good finish. All right. Look at this. Great finish. Go on. Go on, son. Great finish. Okay, all done. That was a tough one. Really windy, blustery weather. It was horrible. Hard to get going. There was some really quick runners there, actually. The top three, I think, all did sub 17. One guy, I think, must have done about 16:30 something. I was about 17:49, I think, something around about there, which is nice to get back in the 17s. I've been struggling a bit with my speed, so it's nice to get back into that kind of territory. Now I need to obviously I've got a 20-mile run to do tomorrow, and I've got some to continue with the mileage, but I need to start fine-tuning and do some speed work. So next week I'm going to have a bit of a down week in terms of mileage. I'm going to concentrate on a bit of speed, and then I've got the Paddock Wood half marathon on the Sunday. I think it's the 8th of March. You, Steve, you'll be there, won't you? So I'll get to have a chat with you. In terms of the shoes, let me show you them. again. Did really well actually. It's really slippy, horrible out there, and the grip, as you know, with these Li-Nings, the Chinese shoes in general, this ground control units, the grip is really good, really nice and bouncy and light. I'm feeling that there may be a good 10k half marathon shoe, a bit like with the Ray Tokyo. I felt like that with them actually, that they're so soft and bouncy, but they lack that kind of zap, that, you know, that real kind of aggressive like power that the Fastar Nitro Elite 3 has. And I think it's the same with this. I think they're lovely shoes to run in. I think they give you that lovely bounce. You can pick up your cadence in them. They're not the most stable, but they're stable enough, and they're good for long stretches where you're just bounding along. And I think if I was in better form today, in terms of speed anyway, I think I could have done some damage in these today. But I do feel like the Fastars are still the kings, and I'm yet to see a shoe that competes with them for flat out speed, and that's the same with these. But they are really lovely shoes. I think over the half marathon distance they could be amazing actually, when you just lock in to a pace and you bound along with that real nice bounce and energy return. But we'll see. 10k half marathon I think is the sweet spot for these shoes, but we'll see. And I'm going to go and get a coffee now. I'll do the full review when I get home, and as I always say, let's have it, and I love you all. Bye bye.
Runnable till the lights go low. Rain, sleet or snow, still moving, still flow. From the fall to the rise, yeah, the mouth set me free. This is run, yeah, breathe. Keep running.
Okay, let's go through some key stats around the Li-Ning Feidian 6 Elite. So in my UK size 9.5, I get a weight, a competitive weight, but not a really lightweight, of 225 grams. So if I compare it with, say, the Sky Tokyo, this is around 189 grams. Again, in my UK size 9.5, and again in UK size 9.5, I've got the Puma Fastar Nitro Elite 3, which is around about 198 grams in my UK size 9.5. So you can see this shoe 6 Elite is a little bit heavier than those two. Now the reason I picked those two out is currently I think these two are my best 5k shoes. These are the shoes I think if I really had a race that was a key race for me that I wanted to do well in, I picked one of these two shoes to race that 5k in. And I ran my best ever 10k in this shoe recently at the Chichester's 10k. So I wanted to compare this with those shoes in particular around the 5k distance. And one of the key things about 5k distance is to have a light shoe. This is a little bit heavy, you know, it's about 20 grams plus heavier than those two, which is slightly disappointing given how light shoes are these days. But you're getting a lot for that weight in this shoe, and we'll go on to talk about that in a minute. So that's the weight. In terms of stack height, 39 millimeters in the heel. You've got 33 in the forefoot, giving you that 6 millimeter drop. This shoe feels really highly cushioned. You get a lot under your forefoot here. So for me, this has all the characteristics of a good shoe that could be good, not just for 5k, but all the way up to the marathon distance. We'll talk about that a bit later though.
Runnable till the lights go low. Rain, sleet or snow.
In terms of the upper, you've got this kind of nice booty fit construction upper. I love these kind of uppers. I love the Alpha Fly 3 upper, and this one is no exception. I think this is a brilliant upper. It's wide enough for my wide foot. It's got enough volume for my fat toes. It's got these stretchy laces, which are fine. They're nothing to write home about, but they do the job. We've got this integrated tongue. As I said, it's booty fit. And you've got this little tab here that you can tie and cinch your laces down on top of, so without stops you getting that lace bite. You've got flexible heel counter. You've got some structure in the heel, but not much. A little bit of sidewalls here. You've got some padding in the collar, and you've got a little bit on the counter there, but very minimalistic in terms of padding. But I do get really good lockdown in this shoe, so I don't have any issues with heel slippage, that type of thing. So the upper does its job. It wraps really nicely around my foot. It's really lightweight, micro mesh upper. You can see my fingers just about through there. And so, yeah, if you're looking for a lightweight upper that wraps around your foot, is quite good in terms of lockdown, has quite a flexible heel counter, allows your feet to breathe well, then this will do the job. So it's a 5 out of 5 upper for me.
Runnable till the lights go low, rain, sleet or snow.
Same with the outsole. It's got this ground control unit, similar sort of rubber that you get in the Adidas Pro 4, the light traction. You can see it's got little bits of these kind of like diamond shapes to give you that extra grip, and it covers most of the shoe. So that's quite unusual with super shoes these days. If I look at these two, for instance, you've got a lot of exposed foam here in the Sky Tokyo, and in the Puma shoe you've got lots of exposed foam in the heel, and also in the, obviously you've got exposed plate in this midfoot area. Here you've got lots of this ground control unit covering the vast majority of the outsole, which I think is a good thing, particularly for durability. You can see the carbon plate poking through there. It's one of those plates that is reasonably low lying, but swoops up, and you've got these kind of prongs. T1000 plate. So that's the outsole. I would say it's a 5 out of 5 outsole. In the race today, I did get some slippage in it, but it was a really muddy, wet area that I think I would have slipped in pretty much every shoe. I would have definitely slipped in these shoes, and I think this outsole is definitely on a par, if not better than both of these. In fact, I would say it is better than both of those.
Runnable till the lights go low, rain, sleet or snow.
Midsole. This is an incredible midsole. You've got this super boom encapsulated foam here. This kind of rubber membrane encapsulates this foam. I believe it to be PIBA. It's very soft and bouncy. And the reason they have this is to keep that energy from dissipating left and right. It's a new design from Li-Ning, which actually I think works because you get really nice forward momentum with this shoe, because a lot of that energy when you land gets transferred forward rather than left or right. You don't lose any energy or much energy because of this wrapper around the foam. At the bottom, you've got a little bit of a firmer layer of PIBA, not much firmer though. The truth is, this is a really soft, bouncy ride, one of the softest, bounciest rides out there. If you've used the Ray Tokyo, the Saucony Endorphin Elite 2, around that kind of softness. So if you like those shoes, you're going to like the feel of this one. If you found them too soft, you might find an issue with this shoe. What I would say though, unlike the Saucony Endorphin Elite 2, this isn't that squidgy softness. It's energetic softness. You compress and you get a very quick decompression forward. You get a lovely amount of energy that throws you forward from this shoe. So the harder you land with it, the quicker it compresses and decompresses, and the more energy you get with this nice, now I wouldn't say early stage rocker, but it's a nice rocker that keeps you just flowing along. So today in the 5K, when I got going towards the end, so if you look at the graph of my pace, you'll see that as the race went on, I got quicker and quicker, and that last K was my quickest split. And that's because I was coming into my own with this, which is a good sign, I think, for those longer races, where I think, for me, I'm going to get into my stride, get into the race, and this is going to get better and better. And I kind of saw that with the Chichester 10K, where the more I got into that race, the quicker this helped me go. It really did respond well to me upping the tempo, hitting harder, hitting the floor harder, and I got more and more energy return as that race went on. And it was the same with the 5K today. So absolutely fantastic midsole. I would say the plate configuration and the combination of this super BoomFiber encapsulated foam here, it's called a Capsule, and also this slightly firmer foam but still pretty soft, giving you that soft, bouncy, energetic ride, means that this is a 5 out of 5 midsole. The only thing I think that could be improved upon this is if they gave it a slightly earlier, more aggressive rocker, and then this would be a sight to behold. I think this would be an absolute weapon and pretty much undefeatable. Maybe it could even defeat the Puma Faster on Agile Elite 3. They made this a little bit more aggressive. But as it is, it's still pretty aggressive, and it's a lot of fun to run in. It's a lot more fun to run in than this shoe, and just as much, if not more, fun to run in than the Sky Tokyo. So that's the midsole.
Runnable till the lights go low, rain, sleet or snow.
Stability, probably one of the downsides of this shoe, isn't the most stable. I think going around corners, bends, you do feel slightly that you're wobbling either left or right on the medial side or the lateral side. It's because this foam is so soft, this capsule layer is so soft, that the plate is there and it does offer support, but it's not quite enough sometimes when you're really leaning, particularly if you're on a camber. I found that as well with the Red Hare 9 Ultra. I found that on cambers it wasn't the best, and I think the same with this shoe. There isn't a lot of support in the upper. You've got a sidewall here that helps you keep your foot locked in, but that's about it. It's very flexible otherwise. There isn't a great deal of structure to this upper, and that in that respect, don't think it's the most stable of shoes. It's somewhere around about 2.5, 3 out of 5. So that's the biggest failing of this shoe.
Runnable till the lights go low, rain, sleet or snow.
Durability, I don't know yet, but as I told you already, that the amount of rubber outsole here means that I think this will wear well and protect the foam really well. But it is a soft PBA foam, and as we know in the past, that can break down quicker than, say, aliphatic TPU. So I'll keep my eye on that for you. So that's durability.
Runnable till the lights go low, rain, sleet or snow.
Speed, it's 5 out of 5. It's right up there with these two folks. I think if I was to say, though, if I had to put my money on it, I'm saying that the Puma shoe is the king, the fastest. I would say it is probably in this order. The fastest, I would say Sky Tokyo over 5K probably just has the edge over the Li-Ning, but it's a close one. These two are very close. This, though, is still the king as far as I'm concerned. But you can pick up pace in this shoe. It's really nice and bouncing. When I lengthened my stride, when I started hitting the ground harder, I got that really amazing rebound from this foam, that rebound of energy that kept throwing me forward, bouncing me forward. You get some shoes, like the Puma shoe, that are a bit firmer, that when you land, you get a kind of thud and a launch forward. This is more of a bounce forward. With this one, you roll because it's got that, if you look at the rocker, it's got that earlier stage rocker. You get a lot of, because it's firm and it's got that early stage rocker, you roll through, and it's quite good later on in races when you're getting tired. This kind of does the work for you. This, you get a really nice bounce forward. You get that compression, decompression that loads the plate, and then you get that real nice ping forward, that bounce forward. It's a bit more like the Sky Tokyo in that respect. I get a similar sort of bounce in this shoe. Let's say this feels a little bit bigger on your foot than the Sky Tokyo. And you can see it's quite a bigger shoe in general. If you turn them around, look how much bigger it looks. It's chunkier, but then again, I think this will be really good for those who like to hit the ground hard and launch themselves forward. People that are more like cadence runners, shufflers, they may not get the most out of this shoe. They might be better off with something like the Puma shoe, where it just kind of rolls you forward. And so when you pick up your cadence, you can just keep going and going. As well with the Sky Tokyo, I think this is really good shoe for cadence runners, as well as the Edge Tokyo, which again is a really good shoe for cadence runners. So I think this is a bounder shoe personally. I think a cadence runner could use this shoe. It's nice and light. It's light enough to be able to pick up the pace. But I think where this comes into its own is when you really open that length of that stride, hit the ground hard, and you get that amazing bounce. And that's what I found during the race.
Runnable till the lights go low, rain, sleet or snow.
So we talk about the race a little bit. I started off fairly conservatively. There was 3 guys in front of me that were flying, 2 young guys and an older guy who actually won in 16:01, which is a pretty incredible time for Oak Hill. And the other 2 weren't that far off. Toby, who I know, was 17:01. His friend was something like 16:20 something. So he did really well as well. I was at 17:50, so I was some way behind Toby, but I got better and better over that 5K distance. And actually by the 5K, I was going at 3:25 km. So yeah, pretty rapid pace for that last 1K of the 5K. So that gives me a good feeling that this could be even better. And I know it's good for 10K because I got my PB recently in it. But for that half marathon at Paddock Wood, I think towards the later stages of that race, I'll be coming into my own with this shoe. A bit like with the Hoka Cielo X1 3.0 the other day. It took a while for me to get going, but once I did, that shoe was excellent over that half marathon distance. I expect something similar in this shoe. Do I think that over 5K, it's the best of my collection? No, I think the Puma shoe is still some way in front of this one. I also think the Sky Tokyo is a faster shoe over 5K than the Li-Ning 6 Elite, which I think is a really good 5K shoe. But I think the best of this shoe lies at the slightly longer distances between 10K and marathon. But it is quite a versatile shoe. So if you wanted to get it and run your 5Ks and your marathons, this can do the job, folks. Just remember, it's a little bit heavier than these 2. So over that shorter distance, that counts a little bit more. When you're really picking up your cadence, you want something as light as possible. And those extra 20 grams, they do make a difference when you're running shorter distances like 5K. Oak Hill Park in itself, really lovely park run. It's really well marshaled. So many people I know there now. It's always nice to go back and run that race. I haven't done it for a few weeks, actually. It was the first time they reopened the A course, which is a lot flatter. And I thought, right, I'm not in the mood for hills this morning, so I'll go and do the A course. And I much prefer it when it's the A course, to be honest. So you can get into your stride a little bit. It's still very tricky at parts, overtaking. So towards the end, even though my last K was my best K in terms of split times, I was having to overtake a lot of people, which was tricky, particularly in certain parts of it that had been waterlogged and it was become very muddy and slippy. And this did okay. It gripped reasonably well. As I said before, any of the shoes that I own would have struggled a bit. I did get a little bit of slippage with this shoe, but I would have with any super racing shoe. The mud was like kind of that thick, so you don't really get much ground feel going over it. It's kind of that squidgy mud that if you have to kind of like reduce the length of your stride and go a bit tippy-tappy over those parts just to make sure you don't overstretch your leg and the ground gives way. You stretch too much and you hurt a muscle.
Runnable till the lights go low, rain, sleet or snow.
So my final thoughts on the Li-Ning Feidian 6 Elite. Do I think this is a good shoe for 5Ks? Yes, I do. I think it's a really nice shoe. You get really lovely energy return. This capsule layer gives you an amazing rebound of that energy and throws you forward, and you get that really nice bounce. It's one of these bouncy type shoes, a bit like the Sky Tokyo, so you like the feel of this. It's very different feeling to the Fast Star though. This is a lot firmer, a lot more aggressive, and it rolls you forward, this shoe.
I found your shadow in the quiet of a passing train. Your name was written in the frost upon my window pane. We tried to leave our memories scattered in the snow, but every step I take still finds the footprints that we froze. You were oceans in my heartbeat, crashing soft, pulling hard. I keep pretending that I'm healing, but I'm tracing every scar. Meet me in the place where the coastline bends its spine, where we whispered all our secrets like we had forever. And I chase the fading echoes like it somehow let me stay. We burned the photographs but kept the ashes in our lungs, breathing in the echoes of a love that came undone. You were galaxies behind me, falling quiet, turning blue. And I swear I try to leave you, but I keep orbiting you. Meet me in the place where the coastline bends its spine, where we whispered all our secrets like we had forever time. I could lose the world around me, but I can't erase the signs. You're still writing in the margins of the pages of my mind. If forgetting's just a promise that the heart will disobey, then I'll hold on to the pieces that refuse to fade away. So meet me by the water when the sky is turning white. If we break again tomorrow, let me keep just one last night. Hit rock bottom, now I rise from the deep. Only after losing everything do you truly break free. Identity fractured, but the truth's what I keep. Self-destruction in my heart and the climb ain't cheap. Feathers in your back don't make you something you're not. Sticking feathers up your butt ain't power, it's rot. Rebuild from the wreckage, let the ego collapse. Turn the beat up loud, hear the freedom in the snaps. From the chaos came clarity, destiny flipped. Two sides of my mind finally tighten their grip. No fear, no chains, no mask on my face. Just a man reborn from the wreckage of the place. And when the dust clears and I stand in the light, I'm the king of my ruin, the survivor of the fight. Rock bottom was a moment that set me free. Now the only voice I follow is a real me. Rock bottom was a moment that set me free. Now the only voice I follow is the real me. Rock bottom was a moment that set me free. Now the only voice I follow is the real me. Rock bottom was a moment that set me free. Now the only voice I follow is the real me.